crowds are just something unbelievable, Lou. I've spoken to some people in the crowd, people who were here in 1927, 35 years ago, when they had that great parade for Colonel Lindbergh, and they tell me that it was nothing like this. They've got more people, more ticket takers.
A shower of glory for a new American hero.
Happen in this program, we're not.
And after the last hurrah, a nation's right to know the full account.
We have 3 examples here to prove it.
Gonna roll that tape in this?
No, let's just stay right with it, Bobby. Stay with it.
He's recording.
All right, ready to go to Cronkite. Vic, you ready, Sam?
Stand by, Walter. Okay, you're on.
Weather good, astronaut in good shape, tracking systems around the world.
Tell Cronkite to back off. Let Powers take it from here on in.
Astronaut Gordon Cooper, the man that will be at the controls of the spacecraft in the U.S. 6th attempt at manned spaceflight, was awakened this morning at 2:50 a.m.
What you're about to see is a demonstration in action of an open society and a free press. To the legion of men who photographed it, the story of Project Mercury was told in the realm of the frozen image. The story began in Washington at a press conference in 1959. It was a Jules Verne kind of a story that became a national goal, front-page news, a focus for our scientific and creative energy. The Cape became one of the prized datelines in journalism.
Signifying the capsule number. On the concrete square itself, the pad of
downrange from the Cape, south of Bermuda, the recovery forces stood ready.
Which is one ingredient of the fuel. Most of the preliminary work has been done here by now. We await the arrival of astronaut Shepard.
Radio and television carried the event as it happened.
This is Freedom 7. The fuel is go 1.2 G. Cabin at 14 psi. Oxygen is go.
For depth and interpretation, there was the printed page. We had time to pause, to wonder at this new age. What would it bring? An astronaut and a president with a wonderfully warm and ready wit.
Therefore, I want to again express my congratulations to Alan Shepard. We're very proud of him, and I speak on behalf of the Vice President, who is chairman of our Space Council and who bears great responsibilities in this field, the members of the House and Senate Space Committee who are with us today, and this decoration, which is going from the ground up here.
Astronaut Gus Grissom was successfully launched today at 7:20 a.m.
Helicopter with the astronaut aboard, and we're seeing him in the cockpit. You'll hear it as it lands on the deck here. You'll hear the sound of its rotors and its change on. He doesn't look very wet. He has his helmet on. His hands, the doctors are immediately treating him. They're going to
After welcome on deck, a personal message.
Really proud of you, and I must say you did a wonderful job.
Later, Grissom's report to the press.
You probably already heard, getting a capstan out of the water, he couldn't lift it. He ran into an engine problem, or at least what they think now is an engine problem, and couldn't lift it free. There were 3 helicopters there. I guess actually there were 4. I don't remember seeing 3. And I was sort of in the center of all 3 of them and couldn't get to any of them. Marine chopper pilot did get in close enough for me to get hold of the sling, and then everything was pretty good with me from then on. They picked me right on up and brought me onto the Randolph.
Di Cape Canaveral ini terdapat perasaan menunggu-nunggu.
The world prayed with the litany of the countdown.
30 seconds and holding. We have encountered some difficulty in
But John Glenn was not to orbit this day.
Guidance equipment for the Atlas launch vehicle. We are not able at this time to get a specific identification on what the problem is. We know simply that we do have some problems over there. This is Mercury Control.
Once more, the countdown is underway at Cape Canaveral. Even at this hour, clusters of people are stopping to check the latest reports.
And once more, the world waited.
We have just completed a status check in the Mercury Control Center. We've been advised that at this time, all systems are go.
Accompanied by Dr. Douglas and another Air Force doctor, they walked over to the van, which would take them out to pad 16.
At 4:25, he began crawling into his spacesuit.
Wynn says he is the last man to shake hands with the astronauts and to smile at the monkeys.
Now, around the world, all Mercury stations reported go.
Let's go now to Ed Williams at the press site. Over 500 newsmen here on the scene today to cover this.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
Anyone, all their eyes were focused on the rocket. They were excited. They've been here many weeks waiting for this because of the delays, but when it came, it was exactly as everyone had planned. It was an exciting thing to watch, and this is the way they felt. And they're reporting it right now. Special equipment has been installed here at the press site for them to tell their story to the world, to their own newspapers, and for some radio stations from Latin America that are here.
Reported to be a hale and hearty astronaut after having successfully flown the United States' first manned orbital flight. U.S. astronaut John Glenn is on the deck, is reported to be a hale and hearty astronaut after his history-making flight.
Ray Scherer at the White House on this wet and chilly day in February. We haven't produced very hospitable weather for our hero, John Glenn, today. But the crowds are here. They've been waiting 2 hours now. The rain was much worse an hour ago when he arrived. There he is now on the North Portico, getting ready to ride to the Capitol with Vice President Johnson. That's the son, the daughter, Annie Glenn's in red. Vice President Johnson will ride with him.
That's not John Glenn. It's just around the corner, heading down Madison Avenue here, and everywhere the crowd is still cheering. His bald head can be seen just coming into view. He's heading towards the big inverted V, with the sign, "Welcome John H. Glenn Jr." Everywhere bedlam is breaking loose down here. People are waiting, finding everywhere signs, "John Glenn, America is proud of you. Welcome, John." Hi, John.
Today, I know that I seem to be standing alone on this great platform, just as I seem to be alone in the cockpit of the Friendship 7 spacecraft. But I'm not. There were with me then and with me now thousands of Americans and many hundreds of citizens of many countries around the world who contributed to this truly international undertaking voluntarily and in a spirit of cooperation and understanding. On behalf of all those people, I would like to express my and their heartfelt thanks for the honors you have bestowed upon us here today. We are all proud to have been privileged to be part of this effort, to represent our country as we have. As our knowledge of this universe in which we live increases, may God grant us the wisdom and guidance to use it wisely. Thank you, friends.
Too much.
Okie doke.
Everything went well. And then a cliffhanger. The capsule overshot the expected landing area. Communication failed. For 35 minutes, there was no word.
Well, we've just received a happy word here aboard the USS Intrepid that one of the ship's own jet helicopters, HSS-2s that is, has just effected rescue of astronaut Scott Carpenter and is now proceeding toward the Intrepid.
After a post-flight examination, astronaut Scott Carpenter returns to the Cape, to his family, to the joys and cares of the earthbound. Even a daughter's skinned elbow.
Right now, the gantry is being pulled back from the bird, and the big silver Atlas rocket will be standing right in front of us, about 1 mile in front of our Mutual Canaveral Operations Center. The gantry is slowly moving away now.
Newsmen from all over the world have gathered here today to cover this, the 5th U.S. manned space flight, the 3rd orbital flight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Beautiful liftoff. Straight. 13 Eastern Standard Time. Astronaut Walter Schirra is now in his space capsule high above the Earth. The engines fired right on schedule. That bird took off just as beautifully as any flight you'd ever want to see.
Report says fuel okay. Oxygen okay.
Within minutes, story and pictures were transmitted by the wire services. They appeared on page 1 of the daily newspapers of the world.
Loneliness in space. Wally Schirra might have some feelings along that line if he weren't so busy now in his Sigma 7 capsule. So right now he's powered down on the 4th orbit, that is drifting flight, out of communication with Earth.
One of the important tests of this particular 6-orbital flight will be the photographing of cloud covers and some of the land areas of the Earth.
I haven't even looked outside.
The helicopters are now directly over the spacecraft. One that is hovering is taking photographs. Practically can take them from this post. Commander Walter Schirra, the United States 5th astronaut, standing now in the window section and looking down, now looking at the top of his capsule.